Commander Jack Harlow watched through the viewport as the diplomatic vessel exploded into a ball of fire. The blast lit up the darkness of space, debris scattering in all directions. His hands gripped the console until his knuckles turned white. "They just killed 300 people," said Lieutenant Diaz beside him. Her voice shook. Jack didn't answer. His brother was on that ship. Was. The word hit him like a physical blow. 6 months ago, humanity had made first contact with the Galactic Conclave, a union of 17 alien species who controlled most of the known galaxy. Earth had celebrated. World leaders talked about a new era of peace and cooperation. Jack hadn't trusted it from the start. "We're receiving a transmission from the Conclave flagship," said Diaz. On screen, the face of Ambassador Krell appeared. The Zalarian's 6 eyes blinked in sequence, a gesture Jack had learned meant satisfaction. "The human threat has been contained," said Krell. "Your species expanded too quickly, asked too many questions. The Conclave voted. Your containment is necessary." Jack leaned forward. "You just murdered our diplomats during peace talks. This is an act of war." "A preventative measure? Your military capabilities concern us. Your adaptability is unpredictable." The transmission cut off. Jack turned to his crew. The bridge of their small observation vessel was silent. They were the only witnesses to what had just happened. "Sir, 3 Conclave warships are moving toward us," said the tactical officer. Jack's mind raced. Their small ship couldn't fight, couldn't outrun them either, but they had something more valuable than weapons. "Transfer all diplomatic files to the secure drive," Jack ordered. "Every scan, every conversation, every weakness we've identified in Conclave species." "Sir, that's classified intelligence," Diaz said, "and we're the only ones who have it now." Jack moved to the navigation console. "Plot a course through the asteroid field. They won't follow us in there." "That's suicide," said the pilot. "So is staying here." Jack took the controls himself. "I've flown worse." The ship lurched forward as Jack pushed the engines beyond safety limits. Behind them, the Conclave warships opened fire. The first shots missed. The second hit their rear shields. "Shields at 40%, called out the engineer. Jack flew directly toward the dense asteroid field. His brother had taught him to fly. Now those skills were the only thing keeping them alive. "They're still following," said Diaz. "Not for long." Jack cut the main engines and fired maneuvering thrusters, sending their ship into a spin between 2 massive asteroids. The lead Conclave ship couldn't adjust in time. It clipped an asteroid and spun out of control, crashing into another warship. The explosion gave them the cover they needed. 3 days later, Jack stood before Earth's United Defense Council. His uniform was still stained with blood from repairs made during their desperate journey home. The room was silent as the council reviewed the evidence he'd brought back. "They killed 312 people," Jack said, "including my brother. They thought it would scare us into submission." General Rivera looked up from the files. "What do you recommend, Commander?" Jack stepped forward. The weight of what he was about to say hung in the air. "The Conclave thinks they know humans. They've studied our history, our wars, our technology, but they've missed something important." Jack's voice was steady now, cold with purpose. "They've never seen what happens when humanity fights as one." He placed a data drive on the table. "This contains everything we need: weaknesses in their ships, vulnerabilities in their homeworlds, communication frequencies, supply routes." "You're suggesting we strike back?" asked Rivera. "I'm suggesting we show them exactly why they were right to fear us." Jack's eyes were hard. "They've made their choice. Now they'll learn what happens when you corner humans." The war room buzzed with activity as Jack studied the holographic display. Earth's response had been swift and unified. Operation Thunderclap was now in its 3rd week. "Status report," Jack demanded. Alan Reeves, the team's tech specialist, swiped through data screens. Production facilities at maximum output. Fleet deployment at 87%. First strike teams in position near all major Conclave outposts. Jack nodded. The aliens had expected Earth to beg for mercy or launch a desperate, emotional counterattack. They hadn't expected this. Cold, calculated preparation. "Commander Harlow," called Nora Vance as she entered the room. Her combat armor still showed scorch marks from her last mission. 5 years ago, they had fought on opposite sides during the Mars conflict. Now she was his most trusted soldier. "The stealth ships are ready," she said. "Team is prepped for drop on the Zalarian outpost." Jack checked his weapon. "Then let's move." Their ship cut through space, running dark. No signals, minimal heat signature. The Conclave outpost orbited a small moon, its defenses pointed outward, expecting a frontal assault. "They still don't understand how we think," Jack said as they approached. "They expect us to attack like their other enemies, with big fleets and announced challenges." "Their mistake," Nora replied. The team of 12 dropped from the ship in individual pods. Jack felt the familiar rush of adrenaline as his pod shot toward the station. The Conclave had superior technology, but humans had something they lacked: adaptability. The pods breached the station's outer hull simultaneously. Alarms blared as Jack kicked open his pod door, weapon ready. "Move fast, stay tight," he ordered through the comm. They encountered the first aliens in the main corridor. The Zalarians fired energy weapons that left scorch marks on the walls. Jack rolled behind a support beam, then signaled Nora. She tossed a disruptor device that scrambled the aliens' vision membranes. "Now!" Jack shouted. The team surged forward. Jack took down 3 Zalarians with precise shots. They weren't here to kill, but to send a message. "Control room ahead," Alan said, checking his scanner. "Heavy security." Jack pulled out a device his brother had helped design before his death. "Cover me." While the team provided covering fire, Jack placed the device on the door. It bypassed the alien security system in seconds. The door slid open. Inside, a high-ranking Zalarian official backed away from the command console. Jack recognized the insignia of the Conclave High Command. "You were not supposed to find us," the alien said, its voice translator making the words sound flat. "You shouldn't have killed our people," Jack replied, aiming his weapon. The Zalarian's 6 eyes blinked rapidly. "I voted against the attack on your ship. Many of us did." Jack paused. "Explain." "The Conclave is not united in this. The attack was pushed by extremist factions. They fear what humans represent." Alan called from a computer terminal. "Commander, I've accessed their network, downloading their battle plans now." The station shook violently. Nora checked her tactical display. "Earth forces have engaged the Conclave fleet. They're using the new pulse weapons." On the screens around them, Jack watched as Earth ships deployed technology no alien species had predicted. The weapons didn't destroy the Conclave ships, they disabled them, leaving crews alive but helpless. "You show restraint," the Zalarian said, sounding surprised. "We're not monsters," Jack replied, "but we will defend ourselves." His comm unit beeped with an incoming message. Jack froze when he saw the sender ID. "This is impossible," he whispered. The message was simple. "Don't trust anyone at command. Not everyone wants this war to end." Sam. Jack stared at the screen. Sam was his brother's name, his dead brother. "Sir?" Nora asked, noticing his expression. Jack looked up, his mind racing. "Change of plans. We're taking the Zalarian with us, and we trust no one when we get back." Jack's team moved through the shadows of the abandoned mining facility on Luna Base. They were officially fugitives now. "Are you sure about this?" Nora asked, checking the perimeter. Jack nodded. The message came from Sam's personal encryption key. Nobody else had access. The Zalarian diplomat they had captured, who called himself Vex, shifted uncomfortably in his environmental suit. Your brother could have been captured, forced to reveal his codes, Or he could be alive, Jack said firmly. Alan worked on a secure terminal, bypassing Earth defense firewalls. I'm in, accessing classified communications now. The screen filled with messages between General Holt, Jack's former mentor, and an unknown contact. The evidence was clear. Someone high in Earth's command had given the Conclave the coordinates of the diplomatic vessel before the attack. Traitors, Nora whispered. Jack's fist tightened. They wanted this war. A proximity alarm blared. Alan checked the sensors. Multiple ships approaching, Earth Defense Forces. They found us, Jack said. Move out, Plan B. They barely made it to their ship before Defense Forces stormed the facility. Jack took the pilot's seat and launched, pushing the engines to maximum. 3 cruisers in pursuit, Nora reported from Tactical. Jack smiled grimly. Perfect. He flew directly toward Numar's colony, where a Conclave attack fleet had just appeared. Both Earth forces and Conclave ships locked weapons on Jack's small vessel. This is suicide, Vex said. This is strategy, Jack replied. He opened a broadcast channel to both fleets. Attention, all ships. I am Commander Jack Harlow. I have proof that the diplomatic attack was orchestrated by traitors on both sides who profit from this war. He nodded to Alan, who transmitted the evidence they had gathered. Commander, the colony is defenseless, Nora warned, pointing to the settlement below. Jack made his decision. All Earth ships, form up on my position. We're defending the colony. To everyone's surprise, the Earth cruisers moved to protect Jack's ship. The Conclave fleet hesitated. They're receiving the transmission, Vex said, monitoring Conclave communications. Some ships are standing down. Not all of them. 3 Conclave destroyers moved to attack the colony. Weapons hot, Jack ordered. Protect those civilians. What followed was the most unconventional battle in the war so far. Jack's small force used the moon's low gravity and dust clouds to confuse the enemy sensors. They deployed mining explosives as makeshift weapons. Earth ships and even some Conclave vessels that had received the transmission joined their defense. When it was over, the colony stood unharmed. The remaining enemy ships retreated. A message came through from one of the Conclave ships that had helped them. We seek alliance. Not all of us wanted this conflict. 3 alien species had broken from the Conclave to join with humans. The war was changing. Later, Jack confronted General Holt at a secure meeting point. The older man looked defeated. Why? Jack demanded. Why betray your own people? You don't understand the power they have, Holt said. I gave them Earth's coordinates to buy us time. Time for what? Holt's eyes darted nervously. There's a weapon, ancient, built by a species that vanished millennia ago. It can destabilize entire star systems. Jack grabbed him. Where? Before Holt could answer, the space around them warped. Ships appeared, both Conclave and Earth vessels. Commander Harlow, came a transmission. You are declared a traitor to Earth. Surrender immediately. From the Conclave flagship came another message. The human Jack Harlow has violated Conclave territory. He will be terminated. Jack looked at his small team, then at the fleets surrounding them. There was nowhere to run. Any ideas? Nora asked quietly. Jack's hand moved to a hidden control panel. Just one, but you're not going to like it. Jack hit the emergency override, and their ship's engines exploded in a blinding flash. Not a real explosion. A light bomb that temporarily blinded both human and alien sensors. Now, Jack ordered. Alan activated the experimental cloaking device they had stolen from Earth's research division. The ship vanished from all tracking systems. We have 4 minutes before it fails, Alan warned. Jack piloted through the confusion, slipping between the massive warships. They escaped into the asteroid belt beyond Mars. That was too close, Nora said, checking weapon systems. Vex studied Jack with his 6 eyes. You knew they would find us. You wanted them to. Jack nodded. Now both sides think we're dead. That gives us freedom to move. They traveled to coordinates Holt had revealed, an ancient space station hidden in the rings of Saturn. The structure was massive, built from materials not found in any known world. "What is this place?" Nora asked as they docked. "According to Holt, it was built by the precursors," Jack said, "the species that came before all others. Inside, they found technology beyond anything humans or the Conclave possessed. At the center was a weapon capable of collapsing stars. This is what they're fighting over," Jack realized. "Whoever controls this controls the galaxy." Alan accessed the station's systems. "There's a log here. Someone's been here recently." Security footage showed a face Jack never expected to see again. "Sam," he whispered. His brother was alive, working with a team of humans and aliens. "He faked his death," Nora said. "Why?" Before they could investigate further, alarms blared. The station's defenses activated. "We've been detected," Alan shouted. Armed drones surrounded them. A voice came over the intercom, Sam's voice. "Jack, if you're hearing this, get out now. They're coming." The station shook as ships appeared outside, a black fleet unlike any they had seen before. "Those aren't Conclave or Earth ships," Vex said, fear in his voice. Jack made a quick decision. "Download everything you can. We're leaving." They fought their way back to their ship through waves of security drones. As they launched, the Black Fleet opened fire on the station. "What are they?" Nora asked as Jack piloted through the barrage. "I don't know," Jack said, "but they're after the same weapon." They escaped, but their ship was damaged. With no choice, Jack set course for the nearest human outpost, a mining colony that had declared independence from Earth. The colony leader, Maya Chen, was an old friend from Jack's academy days. "You've started quite a war," she said after hearing their story. "I didn't start it," Jack replied, "but I plan to finish it." Maya showed them to a secure room where a man waited. Jack froze in the doorway. "Hello, brother," Sam said. The reunion was tense. Sam explained how he had discovered the conspiracy before the diplomatic mission and faked his death to investigate. "The Conclave isn't our real enemy," Sam said. "There's something else out there, something that's been manipulating both sides." He showed them data about the Black Fleet. They call themselves the Harbingers. They've been hiding beyond the edge of known space, waiting. "For what?" Jack asked. "For us to find the weapon." Sam pulled up a star chart. "They need humans and the Conclave to destroy each other first." Jack studied the information. "We need to warn both sides." "They won't believe us," Nora said. "We're traitors, remember?" Jack looked at the assembled group. Humans, aliens, all fighting for survival. "Then we make them believe. We show them the real enemy." He outlined a daring plan to hijack a Conclave communication hub and broadcast the truth to all species simultaneously. "It's a suicide mission," Maya warned. "Most good ones are," Jack replied. As they prepared to leave, a massive explosion rocked the colony. Through the viewport, they saw Earth and Conclave ships attacking side by side. "They found us," Sam said. "No," Jack realized with horror. "They followed us." Outside, the black ships of the Harbingers emerged from hyperspace, weapons charged. "They're not after us," Jack said. "They're after what we know." The mining colony shook as Harbinger weapons tore through its defenses. Jack grabbed his brother's arm. "We need to get to the command center," he shouted over the alarms. They ran through corridors filled with panicked colonists. Outside, the black ships of the Harbingers moved with impossible precision, cutting through both Earth and Conclave vessels. "They're not just after the weapon," Sam explained as they reached the command center. "They want to eliminate anyone who knows about it." Maya was already coordinating the defense. "Shields at 30%. We can't hold them off much longer." Jack studied the tactical display. "We don't need to hold them off. We need to get a message out." He turned to Alan. "Can you hack into the emergency broadcast system? The one that reaches all human and Conclave frequencies?" Alan nodded. "I need 5 minutes." "You have 2, Jack said, checking his weapon. "Nora, Sam, with me. We're going to buy some time." The three of them headed to the colony's defense battery. Jack had fought in many battles, but nothing like this. The Harbinger ships moved like living things, anticipating every attack. "Their technology is beyond anything I've seen," Sam said as they fired the colony's weapons. A direct hit on one of the Harbinger ships revealed something unexpected. Jack zoomed in on the visual. "That's not a ship," he realized. "It's a biomechanical entity." The damaged Harbinger repaired itself before their eyes, its hull flowing like liquid metal. Jack's comm unit crackled. "I'm in," Alan reported, broadcasting in 30 seconds. "Make it count," Jack replied. Alan's message went out to every ship and colony in the system. The truth about the Harbingers, the ancient weapon, and the manipulation of both humans and the Conclave. The effect was immediate. Earth and Conclave ships stopped fighting each other and turned their weapons on the Harbingers. "It's working," Nora said, but the Harbingers were still too powerful. They regrouped, forming a massive attack formation aimed at the colony. "They're going to wipe us out," Maya warned. Jack looked at his brother. "The precursor technology you found. Could it stop them?" Sam hesitated. "There's a prototype defense system, but it's untested, and using it would require direct neural interface." "What does that mean?" Nora asked. "It means whoever uses it might not come back the same," Sam explained. Jack made his decision. "Show me." In a secure section of the colony, Sam revealed a chamber containing what looked like a pilot's seat surrounded by flowing energy. "It will connect you to all remaining precursor technology in the system," Sam explained. "But the human mind wasn't designed for this. It will change you." Jack sat in the chair. "Make sure everyone gets to the escape pods." The neural interface activated. Pain shot through Jack's body as his mind expanded beyond human limits. He could see everything. Every ship, every weapon, every possibility. Through this new awareness, Jack activated defenses hidden throughout the solar system. Ancient weapons platforms came online. Shields enveloped vulnerable colonies. The Harbingers faltered as their ships were disabled one by one. Their leader sent a direct communication to Jack's mind. "You cannot stop what is coming. We are merely the first wave." Jack pushed the entity out of his consciousness and focused on finishing the battle. The remaining Harbinger ships retreated, jumping to unknown coordinates. When it was over, Jack emerged from the chamber. His eyes now held a faint blue glow. The neural interface had changed him, giving him access to knowledge no human was meant to have. "Are you still you?" Sam asked cautiously. Jack nodded. "Mostly, but I understand things now. Why the Harbingers came. What they fear." 3 months later, Jack stood on the observation deck of Earth's new flagship. Representatives from 50 species, including former Conclave members, were arriving for the signing of the Galactic Defense Pact. "They're calling you the human equation," Nora said as she joined him. The variable no one predicted. Jack watched the diplomatic ships dock. His hand hovered near the emergency protocols he had installed. "Trust, but verify." "The Harbingers will return," he said, "with greater numbers." "And we'll be ready," Nora replied. Jack nodded. "Peace through strength. But this time, we'll be ready." His eyes glowed briefly as he accessed the precursor network, scanning the distant edges of known space where something vast and ancient was stirring.